What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. Okay, it's your girl Joy, and I'm ready to give you guys some amazing, outstanding, and of course delicious delicious vegan Thanksgiving sides. Okay, they're going to be epic. We're going to start off with stuffing. Okay, very popular, one of those things that you can't have as a vegan because it has chicken or it might have turkey and all these other little things in it. Well, today we're going to veganize it. Okay, we're starting with some fresh bakery bread, and I'm going to use an ingredient called fennel. Okay, you guys might not be familiar with this, but you need that in order for this stuffing to be epic. Okay, you can have a regular stuffing and not use it, but if you want it to be epic, we won't use that. We will also be making mashed potatoes with a sage butter gravy. I'm gonna say that one more time. We will be making mashed potatoes with a sage butter gravy. And lastly, we're going to be making hickory collard greens. Okay, you can't have Thanksgiving without collard greens. That's it. Let's get to it. Let's start with some fresh bread from the bakery. Okay, you're just going to cube that up and place it on the baking sheet. And we're going to pop these babies in the oven at 350 for about 10 minutes or just until they have a little crunch. This is what they'll look like once they get out. Little baby croutons. Okay guys, this is what fennel looks like. It's going to make your stuffing epic. It has a unique flavor of licorice. Moving right along, we have some jackfruit, guys. We just want to shred it up like this, lay it out, and then pat it dry. After this, get your pan ready. Half a stick of butter. Ooh, let that thing melt on down in there. Now that we got that butter going, we're going to add half an onion and 3 stalks of celery. All right, just going to pour that right in there. Here we have that good old fennel that's going to take this stuff into the next level. Okay, half a bulb of that. Right, add about 5 cloves of garlic. If you don't like garlic, don't add it. I love garlic. We got 5 of them things. And 1 can of that good shredded jackfruit that we made earlier. All right, let's go ahead and add our spices. We have half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper, half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. We also have half a teaspoon of oregano, and my favorite seasoning in the world, smoked paprika, baby. Half a teaspoon of that. I'm gonna add some fresh dry herbs to that. Okay, we have some sage, rosemary, and parsley chopped up in here. I love fresh herbs. It brings a different type of body yaddy 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 to the meal. Okay, so let's go ahead and sprinkle that right in. I have about 3 to 4 sprigs of each. Just want to go ahead and incorporate that. 1 cup of vegetable broth to the mix. Once pretty much all of the liquid has been soaked up, simmer that, we're ready to put this baby in the oven. I'm just going to spoon this off. Nice and cute. From those breadcrumbs that we toasted earlier, just want to go ahead. You want to put the breadcrumbs on top like this, and go ahead and add a little bit of vegetable broth on top. Add a little more herbs. Got Italian seasoning on deck. Add a little bit more of that. And just a pinch of salt. And now she's ready for the oven. If your bread pieces on top begin to get too crispy, we're going to go ahead and put aluminum foil on top. Okay? I just want to say, this don't even make no sense. This don't even make no sense. You got the shredded jackfruit in there if you want your little turkey or your chicken. But listen, I wish y'all could smell this, Lord. I wish y'all could smell this. Make this for your friends. Make this for your family. That's it. I gotta go. Okay, guys, let's get these mashed potatoes popping. We're gonna add some water to a pot. And you want just enough water to cover the potatoes so that they can really boil. Just add a good pinch of salt to the water. Once we have the potatoes added to the water, you want to bring it to a boil and let them things get tender. You want to boil these potatoes until they fork tender, and your potatoes should not fight you back. If your potatoes fight you back, you need to keep on boiling. You could go ahead and use a fork or a big spoon, whatever you got to do to mash up these potatoes. Go ahead and do that, but just get them mashed. Okay, we want to go ahead and throw half a stick of butter in there. Go ahead, mix all that up. The potatoes hot, the butter just gonna melt down. At this point, you want to add a little splash of almond milk. Okay, go ahead and give that a stir. Incorporate it well. It's up to you on how the consistency of your mashed potatoes. I like them kind of thick, but also like creamy. I'm gonna throw some onion powder in there. Give it an extra little pop. Of course, you gotta throw the garlic powder in there. Come on now. You want to add a little Italian in there, okay? I'm very big on herbs in my food, and that Italian is just gonna hit different. Now we're going to melt down 4 tablespoons of butter, and then we're going to add fresh sage to this butter, okay? Fresh. It's the herbs for me. Let the sage leaves sizzle in that butter for a while. Let it really infuse, okay? Now we're going to add 4 tablespoons of flour. That's equal parts with the butter, okay? 4 tablespoons of flour, 4 tablespoons of butter, and we're just going to whisk it. So we're going to whisk our flour and butter, aka our roux, until it looks about this peanut brown. Then we're going to add in total 1.5 cups of broth to the roux. And we're going to slowly pour in and whisk. You want to pour and whisk. Okay, let it get all settled in. We're going to pour some more. We're going to whisk some more. Let it get combined. Use that wrist action, okay? And depending on how thick or how thin you like your gravy, that'll determine how much veggie broth you're going to use. Me, I like my gravy a little thick. I don't like it all watery. Pour and whisk. Here we go. Continuing to show you. But yeah, I like my gravy a little thick. So 1.5 cups of veggie broth is perfect for me. If you want it a little more thin, use 2 cups in total. Once you reach your desired consistency, we're going to add in 2 tablespoons of coconut aminos. Typically, people would use soy sauce, but I prefer coconut aminos because 1, there's no soy, and 2, coconut aminos have it has like a sweetness to it. So I really like what it brings to the gravy. So let's go ahead and combine the gravy with the coconut aminos. Give that thing a good old whisk. And now we're ready to season up this good old gravy. We're going to add a pinch of black pepper, okay? And then we're going to also add a pinch of oregano. Again, I'm heavy on my herbs. Italian seasoning, go ahead. And lastly, we're going to add some basil to this gravy to really bring it on home, okay? Give that a whisk, and then you're ready to top the mashed potatoes. Let's go ahead and get into these mashed potatoes with the sage butter gravy. It's doing it for me. It's doing it for me. Let's get into these hickory collard greens, okay? We're going to start with 1 onion and some garlic. I'm going to throw a little salt in here. Get this base going. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. And 1 teaspoon of onion powder. I like to season the onions before I get the stock and the collard greens in there, just so that the onions can really give the broth some oomph, if you will. Okay, we're going to throw in our collards. Then go ahead and add some veggie broth. Alright, we got that good old hickory liquid smoke, okay? We're going to add about a tablespoon. Just about. A little more. Of course, you can taste as you go. We want to kick it up a notch, okay? Ground cayenne pepper, not too much, all right? Boop, boop, boop. Just to give it a little heat. And of course, my favorite seasoning, smoked paprika, okay? This is going to pair well with that hickory flavor that's already giving you barbecue. Just go ahead and, give it to him. Listen, just get into these greens, baby. Hickory, collard greens, look at the smoke just coming off on them. Don't this make you just want to say grace? Good God. Make this for your friends. Make this for your family. Thanksgiving time. Let's go.